Hello, what's up? Commando here. Welcome to my NXT TakeOver Dallas review. Just finally got it watched. Well, I said just finally got it watched. I finished like over an hour ago. I was watching the exclusive videos and reading some people's thoughts about the show. But let's get into it. We'll start off with the old pre-show. Talk a little bit about it. Not much to say, but I really enjoyed Mauro Ranallo and Lita and Renee as the pre-show people. I thought they did a good job talking about it, especially Mauro. Anytime Mauro's on, you need to have Google open and you need to be looking at words. He's always coming out with these words. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I gotta go look it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that works. He's always coming out with new words. He's a hell of a guy, but he's really good. I really like him. And there's this new girl, Kathy Kelly. She's like a backstage interviewer or something now, and doing some stuff on Twitter and stuff for WWE. But yeah, I thought they did a good job, and also there was a couple of dark matches. Manny Andrade or Andrade, I don't know how you say it, defeated Christopher Gerard, and Apollo Crews defeated Elias Sampson. That was a dark match. Don't know if that had been taped for future stuff. I think the Apollo thing might, but I don't know about the first match. I doubt it. But anywho's, on to the first match with American Alpha defeating the Revival for the tag titles, 15 minutes 13. And it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just a great match, a great tag match. It's just you don't see that type of tag match like on Raw and that, and even the pay-per-views at times. The tag matches tend to follow a very boring format. No, they're not all like that, but some of them usually are very just too much rest holds and stuff. But this one was really good heel stuff from the Revival. I thought the moment when Dash went under the ring and then came out and then pulled off Jason Jordan before they got the tag, I thought that was really cool. A lot of good moments, like Jason Jordan had this amazing drop kick. Well, he had a few amazing drop kicks, but there was one near the start that was really cool. It was just awesome. They went for a Dash and Dawson went for this. It looked they were going for some sort of powerbomb clothesline thing off the top rope, but Dash didn't get him up far enough, and Dawson tried to jump down but missed him, and Vance started chatting "you fucked up" and botchamania at them. I don't think Dash and that really knew what to do. They just sort of smiled and stared at them. I don't know if they wanted to redo it. That's what I thought they were going to do, was just redo it, but they didn't. They just sort of went on with the match. But you know, great match. Eventually, it ends up with lots of counters and back and forths and pin attempts. And Jordan tags himself in, runs around the ring, and does a spear to Dawson, then lifts him up for the assisted suplex. I can't remember what they call it, but eventually they won, and the crowd goes wild. There was also some small the Gable, 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 Gable. There's a small chant of that at one point. They were doing that a little bit. A little bit. No, it wasn't nowhere near like London and the UK shows. But yeah, good match. Now, next one. We have. Was there anything that happened in between that? Oh, yeah. We see Jim Ross, Michelle Beadle at ringside. Then we see Funaki and Kota Ibushi, who's a top Japanese guy. I've heard of him. I like I said before, I don't watch Japanese stuff, but I always hear little bits and pieces. Apparently, this guy's a big deal, so it was a surprise to see him there. People are thinking he might be in this. Well, Tom Phillips actually said it, that they might be in that global cruiserweight thing. So interesting to see what goes down there. I mean, then we're on to the next match, which was Austin Aries defeating Baron Corbin, 11 minutes 45. And I just seen a thing on What Culture. They post some right stupid shit, really. I just when I searched NXT Takeover to get to the Wikipedia page, says like it was like 23 what the fuck moments or something from NXT, and apparently, well, not apparently, it did happen because I went back and watched it. But at one point, Austin Aries said, "Come on, motherfucker." And they were complaining about that or something, because you know you can't really do anything without somebody being offended or complaining nowadays. But it was an alright match. You know, it was good. I was expecting Austin to have his cape thing, but he just had like a little jacket thing. I did like the cape when he was in TNA. I thought it was cool. Um, but yeah, it was an alright match. I thought Corbin's new jacket thing was cool. Like he had like these like skulls of like beasts on his shoulder, like his shoulder pads. So that was really cool. He's into that sort of stuff. Like if you watch the Breaking Out, he's into like that, all that skulls and stuff. Like he was like buying skulls and stuff. I remember when I watched the show. Um, but yeah, not really much to say about the match, but it was decent. Um, oh yeah, Corbin hit the deep six on the outside, which led to holy shit, John. Um, eventually ends goes for the end of days, but then he countered it with a roll up. That was only my only issue. I thought we would have seen some maybe a better finisher, but it sort of makes sense storyline wise because Baron Corbin's a big guy, Austin there's a small guy. Um, not that I think he's going to use the brain buster, but it would have been cool if he had a different move to win. But I guess we'll maybe see something in the coming weeks at NXT. So I don't know, but I don't think they'll use the brain buster. Do you think they'll use the brain buster? I don't. But they do. Let's Balor use the Bloody Sunday DDT brainbuster thing. So you never know. He might. Um, after that, we see a video of Finn Balor arriving, and then we get on to the next match, which was Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Sami Zayn. 20 minutes 55 seconds, and it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. I thought his entrance was really cool. Shinsuke, I thought that I really enjoyed it. It says here, we see Scott Hall and Sean Waltman at ringside before Sami Zayn makes his way out. Justin Credible was also there, but not acknowledged. Yeah, I thought I seen him, but I wasn't sure. I thought it was him, then I was like, nah, I think it's just some random guy. Maybe it was him, I don't know. But I thought his entrance was really cool, really cool. And also, he's got a cool T-shirt out. When I seen a link to a website or something on one of the wrestling sites, and it said new shirts for the NXT guys or something. And I was like, oh god, here we go, another generic boring black T-shirt. But no, it's a really cool. It's a red T-shirt, and it's different. Like it's really cool. Because they always come out with these bloody plain ass boring black T-shirts. And I just, it's like do something different, you know. They have one for Dash and Dawson. It's a black one. I mean, the design's all right, but they're very basic. I feel with their T-shirt designs at times. But I don't want to talk about that. The match was really good. There's kind of really too much to mention. There was a holy shit chant as Nakamura was doing his entrance still. Like I said, there's too much to really say, but it was a good match, and there were some brutal moments. Nakamura was busted open at one point. Just a good back and forth match. Sami had a Michinoku driver at one point. Lots of different chants as well. Yes chants. This is awesome chants. King of Strong style chants. There's too much to say because it was quite action packed. I did get a little bit bored, I guess, during it, about halfway through it, but I mean it was still an alright match. And I've seen the comments, people saying match of the year and best match in NXT history. Wouldn't go that far. Like I didn't think it was that good. It was good, but I don't think it was that good. Eventually, Shinsuke Nakamura wins with his big knee, which apparently is called the Bomaye, but I don't think they're calling it now because Corey called it the King Shasha or something like that. That's what he's calling it now. So, but yeah, good match, very good match. I don't want to get into it because it was just too action packed, too many moments to really, mention. But yeah, good match. There was a thank you Sami chant afterwards, and they get up and they shake hands. Sami saluted the crowd before heading to the back. Yes. Then we see Samoa Joe warming up, and then we're on to the next match, which was Asuka defeated Bayley. Says here by technical submission. 15 minutes 25. And it was an alright match. It wasn't a great match. It was okay, nothing amazing. A lot of kind of submissions and stuff. I don't really remember much about it, to be honest. Bailey had her at one point in the guillotine thing again, like she did Nia Jax. It was an okay match, but nothing memorable really, in my opinion. Just sort of flicking through a recap here to see. There's a few roll-ups, back and forth, back and forth. Eventually Bailey gets in the Asuka lock, and Bailey sort of trying to reach the ropes. Asuka drops her to the mat and tightens the hold. Asuka pulls them back as Bailey's trying to get all the way out. Asuka takes them back to the mat and tightens it, and then Bailey sort of just fades away and her hand drops, and Asuka wins. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a really memorable match in my opinion. It could have been better. But yeah, Asuka wins, and it kind of got spoiled for me because I watched it. I didn't want to watch it on the network because the network video player isn't very good. I don't really like it, so I was like, I'll watch it on a wrestling site. And I did have my hand covering the video before I played it because I knew there'd be something, and I just missed it as I clicked it, and I got to see Asuka walking with the title, and I was like, ah, fuck's sake. So I kind of had it spoiled for me, but it was an okay match, but nothing amazing in my opinion. And afterwards, Asuka was walking away with the title, and she sort of looked at Bailey. She was sitting at the ring, and just walked away with the title. Looked like a pretty badass moment actually, as she was walking away, title on her shoulder, and Bailey in the background at the ring. I thought that was a really cool moment. And next, the biggest what the fuck moment of the show. I just lost it when I watched this. Bobby Roode standing at ringside. I was sat back at this watching, and I was like, what the fuck? I just went nuts. I thought that was insane. Totally did not see that coming. So maybe he's going to be at NXT. That would be pretty cool if he does. People were talking about Eric Young, who's maybe coming as well. That'd be cool. I really like both of those guys, and both of those guys are really good. I just wish that the NXT shows could be more consistent with their feuds. Like I spoke about in the predictions video. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on that, you should maybe go check that out if you didn't see it. But I just wish they were sort of more consistent with the feuds, because I don't think they didn't really build up to these matches very well, in my opinion. It could have been a lot better. But anyways, it was an awesome moment. And finally, we had the final match, which was for the NXT Championship. Finn Balor defeated Samoa Joe, 16 minutes 22. That was really my only disappointment with the match, was that Finn won. I think he's been champion long enough now. Kind of really wanted to see Joey Samoa win, but he didn't. But first off, another crazy moment is bloody Finn's entrance. He comes out with a bloody chainsaw and just going nuts with the thing. The chainsaw was actually on, and he's revving it up and everything. What the fuck? That was crazy, absolutely crazy. Eventually, and he's also had a sort of a newish design. He had like some blue stuff involved, which was I didn't think they would go for something like that, like a different color. I thought they were just red and black would be the go-to thing, but they had some blue involved there, and like blue gear. I thought it looked cool. And another thing from that stupid What Culture thing was they said that Finn shit his pants. They showed a picture. I mean, it didn't look like it; just looked like it was his dong. I don't think he shit himself, but making something out of nothing, in my opinion. But it starts off, and then almost instantly Samoa Joe is like busted open, and I watched it back a few times and I couldn't find it how it happened, because when he was punching him, he wasn't hitting that side of his face, and he was pouring like mental pouring blood for a long time. The medics was in a load of times, and the fans were chanting like "fuck PG" and "PG sucks" and "let them fight." Eventually, Corey Graves said it happened. He said something, and then I went back and watched it, and it was when he did like a knee, which was like the first move, or first or second move, and as he did the knee, his head busted off Finn, and then it busted open, and he was bleeding like hell. Cause when it happened, and you could see the blood out, I was like, how the hell did this happen? It was insane. Um, but yeah, really, it was a good match. I think it was better than Takeover London because I didn't think Takeover London match was that good. Um, at one point, Samoa Joe like threw Balor over the barricade and landed on a security guy, like just a regular random security guy, not like a WWE guy. At least I don't think it was. See, I don't like the usual arena security stuff. Like totally wiped that guy out. Um, that was a pretty cool moment. But yeah, the fans were pretty against the doctors coming in and cleaning him up and trying to stop it. It would have been better if they just tried to stop it in one go. Like I've seen somebody comment that as if they just try to stop it in one go, even if it took a couple of minutes to do, instead of just constantly coming back and forth. It kind of like interrupted the pace of the match. But it definitely added something to it. The whole blood thing. I totally, um, it's like a shocking kind of moment. I mean, the people that are trying to bullshit or fuck PG, but it is real. That is real blood. It's not like they're bleeding or blood packets or whatever. It's legit. So they kind of have to be cautious. And it was in his eye. So that's a dangerous area. You gotta be careful. So it was understandable, but I got a good laugh out of this chance. But it did interrupt the pace of the match a little bit. But Joe did his usual Boston Crab thing, where and then turned it in a crossface. What the hell is this? Seeing something here. I'll have a look in a minute. But there was Balor hit a few sling blades, like quite a ridiculous amount actually. I was like, is this the only move this guy can do? But eventually, there was a point where they were going back and forth, and Balor eventually hit like a Pele kick. I thought it was a pretty cool moment. And as they're counting, and they noticed this the whole night, the fans would chant like different numbers to what the ref was chanting. Like if he would go 1, and then they would go 2, and then he would go 3, and then he would go 4. It's just being ferrets. Balor he hit the coup de grace, and then he goes for the Bloody Sunday, but Joe applies the Coquina clutch and tightens it. And it looks like Balor's going out, but then the demon inside of him came out. And he pushed himself, like ran up the corner and like did pretty much a sliced bread type of deal, but was still held in the Coquina clutch, and then got the pin. That was kind of a disappointing ending, mainly just because felt Samoa Joe should have won. Like I don't really agree with these really long title reigns. I mean, even more so in NXT when they don't really get defended that much. Well, I don't know. I don't think that the title reign should last too long. Like, especially like a Charlotte with a Divas title. It's definitely time for her to lose it. Just give other people a chance with the stuff, But loads of people were thinking that Finn and this Balor Club thing with Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, that they're either going to interrupt in the Hell in a Cell match, which I have my doubts. I really doubt that they would debut something like that there. If it did, I mean, wouldn't be complaining, but I have my doubts that would happen. Or they're going to debut on Raw. But if that was happening, then you would think they would drop the NXT title to Joey Samoa. So some people were saying that Samoa Joe's going to come to Raw now. But I don't really see what he can do in NXT now. But it's not like they really follow up on these things. They don't really, like I said, they don't do much on NXT in terms of building the feuds. I mean, they have in the past, but this last while just hasn't been very good. Like I feel NXT's kind of gotten overrated a little bit. And if this is the first video you're watching of mine, I mean, I've said it before, but I've been a fan of NXT since it changed to this format, and I've seen every single episode. And I used to love it, and I used to think it was better than the main roster, but lately it just hasn't been very good. But after the match, Joe sits up and he like can't believe it, and he's sort of just angry and shocked, and he just sort of leaves and does nothing, and Balor just gets his hand raised, and then it goes off there, and Balor's the champion. That's how it ended. But something I want to talk about is I've seen apparently this is going to be the design for the new women's title, and it's pretty much exactly the same as the World Heavyweight Championship, the actual World Heavyweight Championship. I thought it was going to be like, when I read about it, it was going to be like the old style World Heavyweight Championship, like the big gold one. But no, it's going to be like the current one, and it's going to be a white back and like a white strap, but then where the W is, it's like red leather, which, and I've seen like I don't know if it's like a legit thing or like a mock-up or whatever, but I don't think it looks good at all. Like that red, especially that red leather there, looks so stupid. It just doesn't look good with the WWE logo with the red line. It looks stupid. If that's the actual thing, it looks terrible in my opinion. It really does. I don't know if they would change the plates like for each person like they do the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I don't think they would, but I don't. If that is what it looks like, I mean, I think people are going to be disappointed because it doesn't look great. Like, people complain about the Divas title, but I think the Divas title looks better than that. If that is it. And also something else I was reading is that Vince McMahon was furious at the Raw crowd, and a lot of apparently looking at other possibilities on how to finish the Reigns versus Triple H match at WrestleMania. They were saying that if they did go with turning Reigns heel, he'd likely receive a pop if he turned, which probably would happen, because the crowd will likely be crazy. And another thing was that apparently Daniel Bryan wants to get out of his WWE deal, and he wants to return to the ring. Apparently New Japan is offering a lot of money, and they're looking to try and get him, since WWE sort of raided their talents the last few months. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe he isn't as bad as they made it out to be. And it is. This might not be true, but these things tend to be true. These rumor things and what have you on these wrestling sites, they do tend to be true. So, could be true, could be maybe Daniel Bryan will return. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's my review of NXT TakeOver. Overall, I'd probably give it a B. I thought it was good, but I do think people sort of overrating it. Just my opinion. Like when I seen the match of the year and greatest match in NXT history, I do not agree with that. Especially the greatest match in NXT history. There's definitely been better matches in my opinion, and I don't think it'll be match of the year. Maybe for NXT, I mean, there hasn't been a real match of the year contender yet for NXT. This is really like the first kind of show to have a good match, so maybe it would be in that category. But I don't think so. I think there will be some better matches yet, or I hope there's some better matches to come from NXT. But there's my review. Hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you enjoyed the show, and tell me what you thought of the show. We have the Hall of Fame tonight, or tomorrow for me. I'm not staying up to watch it. Like NXT TakeOver was on at like 2:30 was when the pre-show started in the morning, so it would have finished at like 5 or something in the morning. Like I fell asleep earlier, and then I woke up. I think it was about 10 to 5. I fell asleep reading some wrestling stuff, and I was like, I'm not refreshing the page because I don't want to get spoiled by anything. So I just turned it off and went away to sleep again. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I am staying up for WrestleMania, all 94 hours of it. Not looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm kind of bored. Like I don't like all this wrestling to watch. I hate having to watch loads of wrestling in one go. It's just too much, in my opinion. I don't like it. I don't like it. And WWE seems to go for quantity over quality, and I'm really not a fan of that at all. Um, what can you do? Hey, but that's it. We're gonna end this now. Yap, too much. So thanks for watching. Just grab that like button, and I'll see you for my review of WrestleMania sometime on Monday morning or Sunday late on Sunday. Monday morning for me. Yeah. Yeah. Bye.